Motor Cities. We get you ready for baseball. Doug Fister on the hill. The Orioles in town to close out the series, and the first pitch is lined to left field right at Quentin Berry. One pitch and one out. Here's the starting lineup for the Orioles here today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Nick Markakis lined out for the first out of the game. J.J. Hardy and Nate McLouth will follow. Adam Jones batting cleanup, and Chris Davis, Mark Reynolds. Their bottom three is Machado, Quintanilla, and Taylor Teagarden is doing the catching today for the Orioles. Here is J.J. Hardy stepping in with one out, and he looks at a strike. 0-1.
Today is J.J. Hardy's 30th birthday. Happy birthday, J.J.
You're on top of those birthdays all the time. Good work. The 0-1 is a strike. 0-2. Hardy 1 for 7 in the series. Run scored. Fister, as he normally does, working very quickly. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he got him. Strike three. Carved him up. Happy birthday, J.J. Hardy. 2 gone.
Looks like Doug on top of his game once again, led beautifully 5 days ago by Gerald Laird. You can't make a better pitch than that. And let's take a look at Fister's numbers. Last 7 starts, all quality starts. That's allowed him to even that record up at 7-7. And all the other numbers are really, really good regarding Fister as well.
Those numbers brought to you by Soaring Eagle Casino, as Nate McLouth stands in with 2 outs. McLouth at .233 is hitless in this series, and he rips one down the right field line. He is hitless no longer. He'll round the bag and hold up with a 2-out single.
The glove men this afternoon for the Detroit Tigers read this way. You've got Q getting a start in left field today against the left-hander. Dirk's not in the starting lineup, at least not playing yet. You got Jackson in center, Baker back out in right. Fielder Infante, Peralta, Cabrera. That's usually the infield alignment for Jim Leland, and it's Gerald Laird who is getting the nod behind the plate today.
Here's Adam Jones now with 2 outs. Jones batting in the cleanup slot. Looks at ball 1 high. .293 average. Hasn't done a whole lot in the series. He's 1 for 8 with a run scored. Has good power though. 24 home runs. All-star again this year for the Orioles. Breaking ball bends in nicely. 1-1.
Looks like Fister is going to incorporate all of his pitches very early here today, just as Porcello did in last night's game. Porcello had a good breaking ball, good changeup, had some life on his fastball.
Missed that one low. 2-1 the count. Fister in search of win number 8. His record is .500, but his ERA is much better than you would expect for a .500 record. Doug gave up 4 runs in his last start, but they were all unearned. There's a pop-up foul back toward the seats and out of play.
Doug Fister got the ball on the very first game out of the All-Star break, and that start was in Baltimore. And judging by that start, you kind of had the feeling that the second half would be very positive for Fister. He was tremendous that day, and he really hasn't looked back since that start in Baltimore.
Ready now with the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Jones goes down on the breaking ball. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Fister. Good start for the right-hander. for the Tigers in a scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Tigers starting lineup today presented by Big Boy. You see Jackson at the top. You got Omar Infante batting second. Cabrera and Fielder in the middle of the lineup. Johnny Peralta batting fifth today. Then Delman the DH. Baker, Laird, and Berry your bottom three here this afternoon. Wei-Yin Chen is the starting pitcher today for the Orioles, and he is presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet of Rochester.
And Tigers saw him right after the All-Star break as well, and they didn't do a whole lot against him. He had a no decision in the game that day. He has 11 wins this year, respectable ERA. And watching him on video downstairs in the Tigers clubhouse, he's got some really good fastball command. He'll throw a lot of fastballs here today. Tim Hortons will sponsor the defensive alignment for the Baltimore Orioles today. McLeod in left. Jones is in center. You have Markakis. He is in right. Quintanilla is the second baseman. He started the first game, did not start yesterday's game. And Taylor Teagarden is the catcher today. Matt Wieters with the afternoon off.
So it'll be Austin Jackson starting things off as the Tigers face another lefty. They are in a stretch of 5 consecutive left-handed pitchers for the opposition. Chen brings home the first one, and it's a ball low to Austin Jackson. 2 out of 8 in the series.
Just a few years ago, opposing managers were a little leery at throwing left-handed pitchers at Detroit's lineup. But left-handers have been much better this year against Detroit than they had in recent years.
And you talk about Chen in that first start against the Tigers back in July. Pretty good numbers. Here's a strike call. Chen gave up just 1 run and only a couple of hits in that start.
Making a fashion statement here today with that orange glove.
Here's the 1-2. He got him, strike 3, and Jackson didn't quite like the call, but he's out of there.
Looks like it's going to be one of those days where Vic Carapazza has a pretty generous strike zone, just as Tim Timmons did a couple of days ago, and Jeff Kellogg, his strike zone was very spacious last night too.
Spacious, I like that.
If you know that going in with 2 strikes, you need to be swinging the stick.
Here's Infante. Omar hitting .294. Here's a strike call. 0-1. Omar 1 for 7 in this series. He has been quieted for the most part. Tiger bats really haven't done a whole lot. 217 so far in the series. And that missed outside.
Zach Britton, a left-hander who pitched last night for Baltimore against Detroit. Pitched in a little bit of stress, but he made quality pitches when the Tigers had runners in scoring position.
That ball's hit well to left field. It is down the line, and that ball is gone. It's out of here. A home run for Infante. A line drive home run to left. That is his 3rd in a Tigers uniform this year.
We told you that Chen throws lots of fastballs, and he spots his fastball usually in a pretty good area, but not so much for this one. That ball is up and it's in, and it allows Infante to get to it. And Infante, as we have well documented, a really good fastball hitter. Doesn't usually miss the fastballs.
Tigers on the board quickly in this one as Infante gets his 11th RBI and 44 overall this year. Here's Cabrera with 1 out, and Miguel looks at a ball low. 6-game hitting streak now for Cabrera, who's done some damage in this series. 4 out of 5. He has scored also 5 runs. There's a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Infante gets the Tigers on the board very quickly this afternoon. 2-1 on Cabrera. Miguel this year against Baltimore pitching has been on an absolute tear. 11 for 20. And hopefully he'll continue that again here today against Chen. And a ball outside. 3-1.
Looks like early on in this game that Miguel has gone to his no stride approach, where he doesn't pick that left heel off the ground. He simply keeps the toe planted because he feels like Chen not really going to give him a whole lot to hit.
Checked it, strike called. 3-2 on Miguel. And that is ball 4 high. Gets away from Teagarden. So it's a 1-out walk. And now Prince Fielder.
That walk was by design. I think that for the most part all day long. And even though Prince Fielder can hit left-handers no problem this year and really has had no problem with left-handers in his career, and they're not going to go after Cabrera with the matchup they have here. They just feel like it's a better matchup.
Prince's numbers are pretty even overall this year, batting .310. Not a whole lot of difference between facing lefties and righties. And he looks at strike 1. Here are those splits we're talking about. You'll see the Fielder still hits .294 against lefties.
And Cabrera was hit by a pitch yesterday. He was also intentionally walked once. Prince was also walked twice yesterday. So teams aren't going to be pitching to these guys a whole lot down the stretch.
1-1 strike on Fielder, who has now walked 9 times in his last 8 games.
One of the more impressive things with Fielder and also Miguel is the fact that you have a couple of studs that swing as aggressively as they do, but yet strike out very seldom.
1-2 on Fielder. Prince right now 4th in the American League with 88 driven in. Of course, Cabrera leads the way. Johnny Peralta batting in the 5-hole today, waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. Missed it outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
As good as Prince Fielder is, he pretty much the last few years have played in the shadow of other really good players on the teams that he's played for. Ryan Braun in Milwaukee, and now here in Detroit. Just kind of laying under the cut, doing what he does.
And the 2-2. Missed it inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Always wonder what the dynamic is going to be like when you have 2 superstars on the same team batting next to each other in the middle of the same lineup. But these 2 guys, Fielder and Cabrera, they're just like brothers, man. They get along really well. Enjoy the game. Both play the game hard.
You have one guy that's pretty much already received Hall of Fame status, and another guy that is getting close to that.
Fouled straight back.
And that's what managers look at when they decide who they want to pitch against. They look at Miggy, and you see all the damage that he has done in his big league career. And then you look at what Prince is doing.
Leland has no trouble getting up every day, riding those 2 names in the middle of his lineup.
Loving every minute of it.
Again, the 3-2, and it's lined to left field, sinking, base hit. And Cabrera will go to second base. The Tigers now have runners at first and second with 1 out. And it brings us to today's Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question of the game. Of these 4, which player is best suited for the 5th hole in the Tigers batting lineup? You've got Delman Young, you've got Brennan Bosch, C. Alex Avila, or D. Johnny Peralta. These are the guys that have done it quite a bit lately. And it's Peralta today. Text ACE, then a space to 37338. And enter your vote today. 1 for 7 in the series for Peralta, who singled in a couple of runs late in the game last night to make it 3-2, but that's as close as the Tigers would get. And Johnny looks at ball 1. It seems like Peralta's been up there with at least 1 or 2 guys on every single at bat in the series.
He got a big hit yesterday. The Tigers did lose the game by 1 run, but it was the 2 runs that Johnny drove in.
Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Tigers have gotten a run on the home run by Infante, then a walk to Cabrera, a single by Fielder. And a chance for Detroit to find some early breathing room. 22 already for Chen. 11 of them have missed the strike zone. There's a drive in the air to right center field. Jones on the run, still going back. He looks up, and that ball is gone. Johnny Peralta, a 3-run shot the other way. And he cashes in early this afternoon.
Wow. Oh, what an at-bat by Johnny Peralta. I guess there's the answer to the ace. Hardware question. I'm taking Johnny to bat fifth for me. That ball is 91 miles an hour. It's away from Johnny, and that's the one thing that Peralta has really struggled with this year, and that's taking what the pitcher gives him and taking that pitch and driving it the opposite way to hit it over that out-of-town scoreboard for a 3-run big fly.
It takes a muscle for a right-handed hitter to hit one in that. I mean, that's Cabrera's area right there. And Peralta has just hit his 9th of the year. 3 big RBIs, makes it 4-0 Detroit.
And it all started with Chen pitching around Miguel Cabrera.
Has to feel good for Peralta when you consider he hit with the bases loaded in his first at bat last night, bounced into a double play, then stranded 2 more in each of his next 2 at bats. And then he'll get back into the seats.
Cabrera's always having some fun. Let me take your helmet for you. Doing the heavy lifting here today in the first.
Ground ball, base hit right field. Delman goes the other way. Tigers continue to swing it.
3 hits today by Tigers hitters. All 3 have been hit the opposite direction. So I think that might be the game plan today against Chen. The fact that the Tigers know that he's not going to pitch anybody inside. Fielder with a base hit the opposite way. Opposite field home run for Peralta. Now you got Young going the opposite direction for a lousy single.
Rick Adair, the pitching coach, is out now to have a little chat with Chen. And this game today is available in stunning high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. We also want to remind you that today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to U.S. Armed Forces serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. Today they're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome you all.
Shortchanged the Tigers 1 hit. I forgot about the solo shot Omar Infante hit.
Yeah, he pulled that one back into the bullpen. Here's Baker. Foul one back out of play, 0-1. Baker was acquired by the Tigers for his ability to hit left-handed pitching. They wanted somebody off the bench or somebody in these situations to make starts against lefties. Lifetime over 300 against left-handed pitching. Ball high.
It's going to be very important for Baker just to relax. A lot of times when a team makes a deal for you and you know the reason why they made that deal, as you just pointed out, for left-handed pitching, there's a natural tendency to maybe press a little bit when you put the new team's uniform on initially.
He drives this one to center field. Jones on the run, still going, not going to get it. It'll split the gap and go all the way to the wall. This will get another run in. Delman coming around. The throw to the plate will be late. He scores standing up. Baker has a double, and the Tigers are pouring it on.
I'll say he relaxed with that swing.
Baker gets his 3rd Tigers RBI.
It's going to be a real short afternoon today for Chen if he does not start to at least show a few fastballs inside. Tigers hitters are beating him like he stole something here in the first inning.
And another ball hit the other way. 30 pitches in this inning for Chen, and he has still recorded only 1 out. A much different look to this game compared to the first time he started against Detroit. Gerald Laird, the batter. Ball 1.
Tigers offensively took a rare night off last night. Give Zach Britton some credit for that, though. But the Tigers, since July 4th, right here at home, they've been averaging about 6 runs a game, but only scored 3 last night and lost the game by 1 run.
They might get there today with only 1 out in the game.
They might eat some curly fries today, too.
2/3 of the way there. Fisker, meanwhile, is thinking, yep, I could use this all day long. And now already some activity in the bullpen. Steve Johnson warming up for the Orioles. Missed inside, and the count on Laird goes to 3-0.
Steve Johnson was supposed to get that start in yesterday's game, and it was not supposed to be Zach Britton, but Johnson threw a couple of innings of relief the day before, and therefore Buck Showalter had to rejuggle his starting rotation.
In there, a strike.
Baltimore also operating with an 8-man bullpen. We've seen quite a few teams here in the last couple of weeks with 8 men in their bullpen, 5 starters, 13 men pitching staffs.
3-1 pitch. Line to left field. Straight to McLeod. And Baker retreats. That's the second out of the inning. And so the Tigers will bat around as they send number 9 man Quentin Berry to the plate. .274 batting average for Berry. An opportunity to play left today.
Nice round of applause for Quentin Berry here today by these fans at Comerica Park.
And Berry looks at strike one. 5 runs on 5 Detroit hits. It all started with a home run by Infante, and then Johnny Peralta hit a 3-run shot the other way. Highlighting this inning. Here's the 0-1. A little bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike on Berry. Two and 1. This is probably going to end up being a 40-pitch inning for Wei-Yin Chen. He is already at 38. Fisker, meanwhile, had a very quick first inning in which he threw just 11. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Berry. So Chen now has thrown 40 here in the first inning. Got Jackson waiting on deck. Struck Jackson out to start this inning, but it's been all downhill since. The ratio is not very good here in this first. And again the 2-2. Got him. Strike 3. Berry caught looking. So the Tigers send 9 men to the plate. They score 5 big ones here in the first. Couple of homers. Infante, Peralta, and the Tigers lead 5-0. beautiful day here at the ballpark. The Tigers score 5 in the first inning, and now Pfister back to the hill in the second, and he misses low to Chris Davis, who starts it off. It'll be Davis, Reynolds, and Machado. Single in the first by Nate McLeod. The only hit they've had so far. That's fouled back out of play.
Looks like Baltimore's game plan today against Doug is to come out and be very aggressive, which is a good one because Pfister is always around the plate. He's thrown 13 total pitches, 9 strikes.
Here's the 1-1. Driven toward left center field. Ball is hit hard. Berry is on the run. He will look up, and it's way out of here over the bullpen into the seats for Chris Davis.
That boy's got some pop in his back.
Doesn't he, though?
He went the opposite way yesterday against Porcello, and that pitch that he hit yesterday against Porcello really wasn't that bad a pitch. Yeah, but Davis with those Popeye forearms, boy, he jumped all over this 87-mile-per-hour two-seam fastball. That looks just like the pitch he hit yesterday.
When you clear the bullpen the other way out to left center, that's a pretty good poke. Davis hits his 20th of the year. And so the Orioles are on the board. That'll bring up Mark Reynolds. He has power as well, but he also has the ability to strike out a lot. In fact, Reynolds in his time with the Arizona Diamondbacks struck out over 200 times in 3 different seasons. Ball outside, 1-1.
I guess you would say he could swing and miss a little bit.
A little bit, but he can also connect too.
Yes, he can.
And when he does, they go a long way. Pfister's 1-1, a swing and a miss.
Reynolds, before he signed to play professional baseball, once played on an amateur team that featured David Wright in the infield, along with himself, B.J. Upton, and Ryan Zimmerman.
The 1-2 is outside 2-2.
Now that is some kind of travel team. And you had Justin Upton, the younger brother of B.J., patrolling the outfield. I don't think they ever lost a game.
Even at that time, before they developed into big leaguers, I'm sure they were putting up big numbers. Here's the 2-2. Pop up, shallow center. Can anybody get there? Nope. Infante was the closest. It'll drop in.
Don't forget to join us on Tuesday when we welcome in the Toronto Blue Jays. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers baseball, 6:30, right here on Tuesday at Fox Sports Detroit.
Scherzer will get the call in that game.
No doubt he will bring that blazing, overpowering fastball with him that he brings every 5th day.
Here is Manny Machado, and he takes ball 1. Machado at 303 since his call up from AA, not AAA, but AA. One of their prized prospects, and that is pulled foul down the third base line, 1-1.
You don't usually see high school kids get to the big leagues as soon as Machado has arrived on the major league scene. He was just drafted in 2010. It's not unusual for a college player, but it usually takes high school players a lot longer to mature than that.
Well, Machado was rated as the best position player prospect out of that 2010 draft from all the high school hitters. He was considered the top position playing prospect, so he has gotten here rather quickly. Now they have him playing third base. He is a natural shortstop, but after just a couple of games at third base down at AA, he's playing that position here in the big leagues, so they're throwing a whole lot at him.
Well, J.J. Hardy, the shortstop that they currently have on their roster, has been tremendous at fielding that position.
Good breaking ball there by Pfister, 3-2.
And there are many that believe that with the frame that Machado has, he's about 6'3", but he's slender right now, that he will eventually outgrow the shortstop position, and he will find himself playing third base anyway.
Swing and a miss, and Pfister carved him up. That'll be his 3rd strikeout of the day.
Doug has a really good breaking ball today, and if you're the hitter, you see the breaking ball at the top of the zone because of the 6'8" frame that Pfister has. That ball started right around the chin of Machado and ended up around his knees.
Here's Quintanilla. A run in for the Orioles on the leadoff home run by Chris Davis. There's a strike call. Quintanilla batting .295. They had Andino down at second last night. And Quintanilla started 2 of the 3 games at second base in this series. Former New York Met. Ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been amazing how the Orioles have been able to hang in with all the injuries they've had. Benamit's on the DL now. They've had Reimold and Roberts and Thome all disabled. Another Bender that drops in 1-2. Quintanilla was 0 for 3 in the opener. Walked and scored a run. And he pulls this one to second base. Looks like a double play. 4, 6. No, not in time. Bounced in the throw, and it was scooped by Fueller, but Quintanilla beat it out. 2 gone, Fielder's choice.
Looked like a double play ball off the bat of Quintanilla, even with the base runner slowing down, but it appeared to me that Infante did not get rid of the ball as quickly as he should have, getting the ball to Peralta, and therefore not able to turn it over.
So that keeps the inning going for the number 9 hitter, Taylor Teagarden. Ball 1. Wieters gets the afternoon off. Teagarden catching, the former University of Texas star. In fact, was the starting catcher on their 05 College World Series championship team.
And that 1 home run that Teagarden has hit this year, it came against the Tigers. It ended that 13-inning affair right after the All-Star break. That Saturday afternoon game.
They had 2 stunning home runs in that game. Hardy hit one, and then Teagarden to win it. Ball inside off Joaquin Benoit. So it's 3-0 to the number 9 hitter. And there's the strike, 3-1. Teagarden at one time was part of a big stable of catchers they had in Texas. Spent parts of 4 years with the Rangers. And rolled foul, 3-2.
Didn't they have Saltalamacchia and Gerald Laird all at the same time?
They did. They had quite a few guys who were trying to sort through. Three and 2. They're going on 3-2, and there's a base on balls. So the inability to turn the double play has kept the inning going now. Time now for the Bernstein advantage. The scouting report on Nick Markakis. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. Markakis best average this season against an opponent, the Twins. He's hitting .500 against them, and you see the Tigers are on that list. .348 against Detroit. .500 against a couple of teams. Markakis a good hitter. He's had 4 hits in this series. 1 ball, no strikes. Buck Showalter had to figure out what to do with that leadoff spot with Brian Roberts injured, and he figured, let's give it to Markakis, give him a shot. Markakis at first was not too keen on the idea, but Showalter went up to Markakis and said, look, you'll probably get, I estimate, 50 or more at bats this year batting leadoff. And Markakis said, let's give it a go, and he's done well.
That's how he sold it on him, huh?
Yeah. Get you up there 50 more times. How about that? Sold. Jeff Jones now making a slow walk out to the mound. Fister had a really good first inning, but has given up a homer, a single, a walk in this frame. and now has thrown 26 pitches in this inning. Two 2-0 the count on Markakis as the Orioles try and inch back into this game. They're down 5-1. There's a line drive, base hit to left center field. That'll get one run in. Markakis on his way to second, and he will pull in with yet another double, his third in this series. 42nd RBI for Markakis.
It's a nice piece of hitting by Markakis after Jones went out to visit Doug Fister. As a hitter, and when a pitcher is struggling with his command, you know that very next pitch is going to be a fastball, and give Markakis some credit. He didn't try to do too much with that two-seam fastball from Fister.
Strike one on J.J. Hardy. So the Orioles answer the Tigers' 5 spot with 2 of their own here in the second. And a strike called to the outer edge, 0-2. Hardy struck out in the first. Thought about it, laid off 1-2. Markakis, by the way, now has 7 two-baggers this year against Detroit. 3 of them in this series. That's pulled foul, third base side. Been a year of streaks for J.J. Hardy. Earlier this year, back in July, he had an 0-for-28 stretch. That's pulled down the left field line. It looks like trouble, and it is. It'll go to the wall. That'll score 2 more runs. Hardy is on his way to second, and the Orioles have answered with a 4-run second inning. Again, the inability to turn that double play has opened it up for the Orioles.
It's a breaking ball that's really not that bad of a pitch, and you can see the body of Hardy was out in front, but he kept the hands back, and if you do that, you still have an opportunity to put a pretty good swing on the baseball, and he found a hole, drove in 2.
Looks like the Clout will end the inning, and he will with a bouncing ball, but a big frame. Orioles back in the game now. It's 5-4. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Jeep, now get a great deal on a legendary Jeep vehicle at the Jeep Summer Clearance Event. And by Carl Budding. Start living your best life. So back here at the ballpark on a glorious afternoon. It's been a wild game so far. 5-4 is our score as we go to the bottom of the second.
Was not expecting the Baltimore Orioles to put a 4 spot on the board against Pfister there in the second inning. He has been tremendous the second half of the year, and the Baltimore Orioles really have an offensive kind of team that they don't really come back from 5-run deficits.
Well, let's see if the Tigers can rebuild the lead now. It'll be Austin Jackson facing Wei-Yin Chen. And the first pitch is in for strike one.
But it kind of plays in the way the Baltimore's played all year. They've used a lot of players this year, and those players just continue to produce, and they play with a lot of confidence.
Here's the 0-1. We'll get back into the seats quickly. 0-2 on Jackson.
We'll see if Chen changes what he was doing in that first inning, where he basically stayed away from all the Tigers. And 4 of the 5 hits Detroit had in that first inning were balls that were hit the opposite way.
And the 0-2 inside and high.
There you go. If he does a little bit more of that, he'll be a little bit more effective than he was in the first.
Chen was on his game a couple of starts ago, and he had 12 strikeouts against the A's. Let's roll toward third. Foul ball. Pitched the last 4 seasons in Japan for Chunichi. The record really wasn't all that good in terms of wins and losses.
Chunichi Dragons.
He was 6 over the 500 mark, but his ERA was 2.48. Orioles signed him as a free agent. Here's the 1-2. There's a base hit to right. Tigers continue to pepper Chen.
Here's a pitch right here where Taylor Teagard, the catcher, he wanted the fastball inside against Jackson. You can see him inch his way inside. He wants the ball inside, but look at where it ends up at. This ball ends up back out over the heart of the plate, and Jackson absolutely drills it the opposite direction.
So give the Tigers their 6th hit of the game. Bring up Infante. Omar looks at ball 1. Home run started the big inning for the Tigers in the first, a solo shot. So Infante now has 11 home runs overall this year, 3 of them with Detroit. And one more time, Johnson begins to throw in the Baltimore bullpen. He was up in the first inning when the Tigers were planting 5 on Chen. It's fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Solo shot by Omar in the first.
One of 2 home runs in that inning. Peralta hit the other. Jackson has 10 steals this year. And draws another throw. Chen faced 9 men in the first inning, has given up a leadoff single here in the second. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Omar Infante. Tigers beating up today on a guy that was having a really good second half. A 3.14 ERA following the break for Chen. 4 victories as well. And a drive toward left center field. McLeod coming over. He'll run it down. 1 out. Time for the Jimmy John's leaderboard here this afternoon. Want to look at some guys that go out there every single day. Who's on pace to play 162 games this year? Well, Cabrera and Fielder are on that list, along with Adam Jones. And 3 other fellas that have gone out every single day. Michael Bourne.
Michael Bourne having a fantastic year in Atlanta. And he'll be a free agent after this year's over. A real good leadoff man.
Here is Cabrera with 1 out. Ball 1 as Teagarden smothers it. He wanted no part of Cabrera in the first inning. They ended up walking him. And then later in the frame, Johnny Peralta scored him with a 3-run homer.
A lot of room for Cabrera between first and second, where he hits a lot of baseballs. And the Quintanilla at second playing double play depth. Very close to the second base bag.
1-1.
The spray chart will indicate that Miguel Cabrera uses foul line to foul line. That's how you hit 332. 344 last year when he won a batting title in the American League.
And the 1-1. Ball high, 2 balls and 1 strike. So Chen, who threw 41 first inning pitches. Watch his teammates get him 4 runs back. Now he's trying to navigate through the Tigers here in the second. Fielder waiting on deck. Cabrera ahead, 2 balls, 1 strike. Way outside, 3-1. Cabrera came into this game hitting .386 in his career against the Orioles, so you can't blame him if he shows up to the ballpark when Baltimore's in town with his eyes all lit up, because he has done a lot of great work against the Orioles. The 3-1. Fouled back out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
If you want to do so here with Jackson over at first base, you can start him if you're Jim. Cabrera does not strike out very often, even though Austin will not get a good jump. But you're not necessarily afraid that there will be a strike him out, throw him out. You're expecting contact from Miggy if you do start the runner.
Runner going, and it's ball 4. So Cabrera gets a walk. Cabrera with some hand gestures now to Teagarden, saying, "Hey, slow down, buddy." Well, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. Second time Cabrera's walked. So another threat here against Chen, and now Fielder, who's singled and scored a run his first time up. Still only 1 out here in the second. Buck Showalter's team hung on for the win last night, 3-2. Ground ball to second base. Here's a flip to second. Warren Hardy's relay double play. They turned a few of those last night, and they get another one here this afternoon. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Play Arby's new Snap and Rock promotion. Snap a picture of your cup, send and win. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Back here at Comerica Park on a stunningly beautiful day. It's 5-4. We've had a lot of offense already between these two teams. Tigers have 5 runs, 6 hits. Orioles have 4 runs, 5 hits. Adam Jones will lead things off for the Orioles. Jones, Davis, Reynolds facing Doug Fister. There's a bouncer hit slowly towards short. Peralta on the charge and out at first base. One gone. To the studio we go for a game break. Here's Ryan Field. Well, we'll look forward to that. Thanks, Ryan. I think both Konerko and Dunn reached the 400 plateau this year. So a pair of teammates doing it.
First time it's ever been done in the history.
Is that a pun? Dunn?
History of this great game.
Swing and a miss. Davis homered the other way in his first at bat. It was a solo shot to lead things off in the second. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fister ready with the 2-1. Here it is. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Doug would love to have a 1-2-3 inning here after giving up that 4 spot in the second.
Yeah, pitching Davis inside might be the way to go. The remainder of this day, he's already gotten a couple of fastballs, one last night, one today.
Swing and a miss.
That were away from him that he played long ball with.
So he stayed away there, and Davis unable to get it. That'll be the second out of the inning. And 4 strikeouts now for Fister. Send up Mark Reynolds. Reynolds batting just .221, had a base hit as part of that 4-run second. Ball 1. Ball club enjoys an off day tomorrow. Then the Blue Jays will come in. 3-game series beginning Tuesday night. 2-0 on Reynolds.
Miguel Cabrera will host his Keeping Kids in the Game benefit charity here tomorrow night at Comerica Park. A lot of fun for the kids and families.
Here's the 2-0, and it's fouled off. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Who did you say began that? Was that Carlos Guillen first?
Yes.
And Cabrera's kind of taken over that.
He has.
Good for Miguel. Soft line drive over the head of Johnny Peralta.
Reynolds has had 2 hits just like that today. Not hit very hard, but hit hard enough to find the fairway in straightaway center field. Both of them. Both of them on his hands.
So that will make it 6 hits for each team. Here's Machado. In for strike 1.
He struck Machado out. First time up today on a couple of real good breaking balls. Got him set up for that breaking ball again.
1-1. Machado went in the same draft that Bryce Harper went in, the 2010 draft. Harper was number 1 overall, and Machado was number 3, 2 spots after him. Popped him up. First base side, Prince coming over, and he'll make the play. Inning over, no runs. 1 hit, 1 left. And Johnny Peralta will be starting things off. He's already had a big day.
Homered in the first inning after Miguel Cabrera walk, a Prince Fielder single, and Peralta batting in that number 5 spot delivered with a 3-run big fly.
That gave the Tigers at that point a 4-0 lead. They went on to get one more, and then all of a sudden the Orioles came back with a 4th spot in the second. So Chen back to the hill. He's thrown 57 pitches through 2 innings. It has been a bit of a struggle for Wei-Yin Chen to start this one. Peralta, Young, and Baker will face him. Johnny now with 49 RBIs. And he lines one toward left field. That's going to hook foul. Wow. Ballboy lost his helmet. Did he get hit? Oh, it did. Right in the bill. Little piece of advice next time.
Use the glove.
There is a reason for bringing the glove out there, isn't there?
Or use the stool, one of the two.
It's the old two. Use your glove, young man.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. It's just trying to make sure you don't get hurt. That's all. The 0-2 pitch is a little bit high. 1-2. Young and then Baker here in the Tiger third, leading it by a run, 5-4. Bouncing ball left side, charging from third base is Machado. 1 out.
The Tigers host the Blue Jays Wednesday at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Detroit Tigers 2012 All-Star poster. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit Tigers.com.
Here's Delman Young. Delman is single in his first at bat. Swings through that one, 0-1. Delman has had his share of batting 5th in the lineup this season. Peralta doing it today, and Johnny providing the 3-run homer. The 0-1 pitch is high, and the Tigers by and large have not gotten good production from the 5 spot, which is obviously right behind Prince Fielder in the lineup. They've had, coming into today's game, just 51 RBIs from the 5 spot. And that's into right field, shallow for Markakis. And that was good for 12th in the American League, so improved production from that spot in the lineup will certainly help. Here's Baker. He doubled in a run. He got into the act in the 5-run first. Baker's first hit of the series. Chen missing inside, 1-0. Chen looking for a snappy inning. He got a double play ball, which helped out the cause back in the second. 1 ball, 1 strike. In there for a strike. 1-2. That'll get back out of play. Another really good crowd here this afternoon on a sunny, clear afternoon in the Motor City. And haven't had too many seats available. Tigers again packing them in today. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and he got him, strike three. Baker is out of there. Chen gets his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Fourth inning here at the ballpark. Time now for the AT&T trivia question. Name the 4 rookies to homer 3 times in their first 4 career games this season. It's happened to 4 different rookies. Can you name them? Homers 3 times in their first 4 career games. That's Manny Machado right there, so I'm thinking he's one of them. Fisker back to work, and it's fouled back out of play.
I'd have to guess Mike Trout would be one of them too. Don't know for sure, but I'm sure going to take a wild stab at his name.
I'll guess he's on that list. Quintanilla leading it off. Then Teagarden and then Markakis. Ball outside, 1-1. Quintanilla reaching on a fielder's choice back in the second, and it turned out to be a huge play because it looked like a tailor-made double play. That's rolled foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hello, Wayne, with the nice pickup there. Handed out a souvenir. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Quintanilla says, huh?
The two-seam fastball there from Fister. You could see Quintanilla jackknife out of the way, but the late life on that two-seamer allowed it to come on the inside part of home plate.
There's Taylor Teagarden. Fister walked him back in the second. He scored a run. And should find the seats. Prince will run out of real estate. 0-1. Teagarden spent a lot of time on the disabled list this year with a bad back. He is 3 for 31 this season offensively. Fister's 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Got him, strike 3. Fister caught him looking, and a pair of strikeouts for Doug. 6 for the ball game now. Teagarden walks back with his bat. Here's Nick Markakis. Ball 1 to Markakis, who has an RBI double. Part of that 4-run second after the Tigers raced out to a 5-0 advantage. One and one. Markakis a good bet to get to 30 doubles again this year. He's done that for the last 5 consecutive years. With his 2-bagger today, he has 23 of them. There's the 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. And he lost him. Ball 4, 2 out base on balls. It's a second walk now for Fister, who's now thrown 70 in this game. And we are only in the 4th inning. And this was after a quick 11-pitch first. Here's J.J. Hardy. 2-run double his last time up. And he looks at ball 1. Tom Brook is trying to get Quentin Berry to move a little bit more toward the line in left field. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's in for a strike. 1-1.
Pretty good bet that Hardy going to hit something in that direction, either toward Berry or Miguel or Peralta. A dead pull hitter. Very seldom does he hit balls into right field.
1-2.
Celebrating his 30th birthday today, and doubled and drove in a couple runs on his birthday.
And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on J.J. Hardy. Nate McLouth waiting on deck. Hardy this year has been really instrumental in helping Manny Machado along, their young rookie third baseman. As we mentioned, Machado was a shortstop by trade, so he's playing third base in the big leagues, but Hardy's been an outstanding defender, and Machado gives him a lot of credit, helps him with positioning as he learns the players here at the big league level. There's a ball outside. Run the count to 3-2. JJ says the one thing he likes about Machado is not afraid to ask questions and utilize his knowledge and expertise. 3-2 pitch with a runner going, and it just missed. Dude, Fister staring in, thought he had a strikeout there.
Might have fooled everybody, umpire included.
Stayed up just a hair too long, apparently, for Vic Carapazzi. So here's McLouth. That'll put the tying run in scoring position now with 2 outs. And McLouth looks at a strike. Make it 0-2. That last walk to Hardy was his 3rd. He had gone 7 consecutive starts without walking 3. There's a drive to right center field, and that ball is going to get down and go all the way to the wall. This is going to get 2 runs in. On his way to 3rd is McLouth, and he will triple in 2 to give the Orioles the lead.
Bad pitch selection there by Doug Fister. And he got ahead of McLeod. No balls and 2 strikes, and he decided to throw him a breaking ball that got way too much plate. And McLeod ripped the ball into right center field.
So McLeod has had a big day. Single, triple, 2 RBIs. This one to the gap in right center to give the Orioles a 6-5 lead. Didn't see that coming. After the Tigers jumped out to a 5-0 advantage here this afternoon.
All 3 of the hitters that Doug Fister has walked this afternoon have come around to score.
Fister struck out Quintanilla and Teagarden to start the inning, then 2 walks, and then the triple. As Peconin warms up in the Detroit bullpen. Here's a little looper into right field, sinking, base hit. And we'll get another run in for the Orioles. Adam Jones gets his 62nd RBI of the year. 7-5. And Jim Leland making his way up the stairs onto the field, and he'll signal to the bullpen. So Fister will not survive the 4th inning in this one. And he will give up the baseball. Luke Peconin about to come into the game. It's a Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back.
Starts by Doug Fister, second half of the season. Didn't do a lot of this today, and therefore had one of his poorest starts. In his 5 prior starts, one of the things that he really did, started in Toronto, and he finished it in Minnesota. Lots of fastballs inside, making the left-handers and the right-handers move their feet, and they were very uncomfortable because Doug Fister did a lot of this. And then after that, you're able to get to your breaking ball. They hit some breaking balls today off of Doug that weren't necessarily bad pitches because he wasn't as aggressive inside.
So uncharacteristically, Doug Fister does not survive the 4th. He goes 3 2/3 in this one. 8 hits, 7 runs, and still responsible for Jones at first base. And Luke Peconin, in his 3rd stint with Detroit, will take over on the hill.
The first time we've seen Peconin since being recalled.
Prior to Tuesday night's game against Minnesota, Peconin joining the Tigers in Minneapolis. There's Chris Davis. 7 runs on 8 hits now for the Orioles. Tigers have 5 runs on 6 hits. 7 unanswered runs for Baltimore. Davis had a home run. That was back in the 2nd. And he flares this one in the air to left. Quentin Berry cruising back, and on 1 pitch, Peconin ends the inning. On our way to the bottom of the 4th. Game presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, phone online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Well, it's a brand new ball game now, and the Orioles have taken the lead. An ironic twist, because it looked like Wei-Yin Chen was not going to last very long in this game, but he's actually outlasted Doug Fister. It went 3 2/3, and now Chen has a 2-run lead to work with. And here are the numbers for Mr. Chen. Through 70 pitches in this game, he has gone 3, allowing 6 hits, 5 runs. And the first pitch from Chen is in for a strike on Gerald Laird. One attempt, he missed it. 0-2.
Not a bad idea by Gerald. It's something that he has done quite a bit of throughout his major league career. He will take that bunt single down the third baseline if the third baseman giving him too much room.
Here's the 0-2. Popped up. Third base side for Machado. Drifting. 1 gone.
Brought this up a couple of days ago regarding Quentin Berry and the fact that Berry not playing a whole lot these days. But take a look at Berry on the left. This is earlier when he was going very good. He keeps both hands on the bat a little bit longer. Therefore, he was able to put some balls on the ground, and he was very effective. But lately, because the playing time hasn't been there for Quentin, he is simply using one arm and swinging and missing quite often because that bat speed is not necessarily there for him.
Berry in this game struck out to end the first inning.
And he had that same kind of swing where he kind of let that top hand come off the bat, and therefore you're not as aggressive and not as fluid with your swing.
Hughes showing bunt on each of the first 2 pitches, and he's ahead 2-0.
It's a natural tendency for hitters when you don't necessarily get as much playing time as you were getting prior, and you start sitting. When you do get in the game, you just try to do more than what you're capable of doing.
Well, and even though Berry hadn't been playing, obviously he takes batting practice every day, still works in the cage, but it's still not the same as being on the field.
Not at all. Not at all. That last swing right there, although a foul ball, a good approach by keeping both hands on the bat, trying to hit the ball right past the third baseman.
2-2 on Quentin. 1 out, 4th inning. Tigers trailing 7-5 in this one. Here's the 2-2. Lifted in the air, center field. Jones on the run, still going. He's not going to get it up against the wall and over the wall. The ground rule double for Quentin Berry.
Much more powerful swing there. First time up, one hand, one arm, very slow bat. This time up, contact is made with the head down on the baseball bat, and you can see 2 hands are still on the bat here. And when Quentin gets himself in this position, as you can see, it's much more of a power position. You could draw an imaginary line right down the center of his body. It doesn't really get much better than that as far as form is concerned, and that's when Q is at his best.
Here's Austin Jackson, 8th double of the year for Berry. Skied in the air to center, and Jones will back up on this one. Berry tagging up. Jones will let it fly, but his throw is off target. Advance the runner to third, 2 gone.
We told you that Quentin and Jones both grew up together, and Adam Jones, as soon as this ball goes up, he knows that Q's going to tag up. Look at him get behind this ball and then come in running and fires the ball to third base to Machado, but Q is just way too fast. But the two are having fun out there, childhood buddies. Same elementary, same high school. And as far as kids watching at home, you can't do it any better than Adam Jones did it right there. When you have to throw the baseball, getting behind it, getting your momentum carrying you to where you're going to throw the ball. You can't do it any better than that.
Way outside. See if Infante can get him in. Tigers in search of a 2-out hit, down by a couple of runs in the fourth. Omar had the solo homer in the first inning, 1 for 2. On the outer edge for a strike, 1-1. The home run for Infante earlier in this game has left him just 11 hits shy of the 1,000 mark for his career. Infante played in an all-star game 2010 when he hit .321 with Atlanta. Trying to get Barry home here. And that's driven to center field. Jones on the move. He'll get there, though, and that is that. So the Tigers threaten, but they leave a man at third on their way to the fifth. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota. Brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Back here on a beautiful day in the Motor City where the Orioles lead the Tigers. We go to the top of the fifth inning. 7-5 is our score. And Luke Peconin back at the hill facing Reynolds, Machado, and Quintanilla. Here's Reynolds, who has a couple of hits in this ball game, both singles. Tigers today have been out hit 8-7. And a ball low. Want to know the count? Reynolds came in batting .219. Here's Peconin's 1-0. Big swing there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Checked it inside. 2-1 the count. Reynolds' biggest year in terms of home runs, and he hit quite a few of them with Arizona. He knocked 44 out of the ballpark in 2009. The 2-1. 3-1. Three-one pitch, and he walked him. So Peconin puts the first man aboard. Here's that AT&T trivia question again. named the 4 rookies to homer 3 times in their first 4 career games this season. And with Manny Machado coming up, he's one of them. Cespedes, Middlebrooks, and Grandal are the other 3. There is the quartet. Here's a strike called on Machado, who today is 0 for 2 strikeout pop-up. And the 0-1. In there is strike. 0-2 on Manny Machado. Conan wanted to know where that one was. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Machado, who gets to the big leagues at the age of 20. Like Trout got to the big leagues last year at the age of 19. Quintanilla waiting his turn on deck. Here's the 2-2. That's popped up right side of the infield. Infante to the grass. Machado's out of there. 1 gone. He'll bring up Quintanilla. Reaching on a fielder's choice and scoring a run back in the second. He also fanned in the 4th. One 1-0 on Quintanilla. Acquired from the Mets for cash considerations back on July the 20th. And back in standing up. Mark Reynolds, who led the inning off with a walk. Tigers led 5-0 in this game, putting a 5 spot up on Chen in the first inning, but then 4 back for the O's, then 3 in the 4th. And they've now out hit the Tigers 8-7, and they lead 7-5. Doug Fisker with only 3 2/3, his shortest outing since April the 7th against the Red Sox. Conan came on in the 4th, threw 1 pitch and ended that frame. Here's the 1-0. Way high. 2 balls, no strikes. He'll get back out of play. Two and 1 on Quintanilla. Taylor Teagarden will be next. Checked it, but he went. 2-2 the count. Running full now, 3-2 on Quintanilla. There's Teagarden waiting his turn on deck. Conan this year was 2-2 with a 4.6 ERA at Toledo. 22 games there. He actually started one game for the Mud Hens. And the runner goes. And a check swing. Did he go? Did not. Throw down to second. It's a walk. A couple of base on balls here for the right-hander Pekonen. More trouble brewing in the 5th inning.
Tigers have had quite a few base on balls already today. 5 to be exact. And Doug Fisher walked 3 before he departed.
Jeff Jones coming out. And he'll have a little chat with Pekonen here as the Orioles threaten again. Here's the Farmers Insurance report card this afternoon. 1,000 or more career wins for active managers, and you see that Jim Leyland is first on that list ahead of Dusty Baker, Bruce Bochy. On and on, some names that have been in the game quite a while. Mike Scioscia, Bobby Valentine, and Buck is on that list as well.
And Mike Scioscia, the only manager on that list that has not made multiple stops. Everybody else has made multiple stops. This is Buck's 4th team he's managed. Jim has also managed 4 different major league clubs.
Taylor Teagarden looks at a strike. Walk and a strikeout in this game, plus a run scored. Good block there by Laird. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fister walked 3 before departing, and all 3 came around to score. Meanwhile, Pekonen has walked a couple here in the 5th, hoping they do not score. The Tigers down by 2. More action in the Detroit bullpen. That would be Darren Downs, the left-hander, warming up. Ground ball to third. Cabrera will fire to second. There's one. And the relay, a double play. That came in handy. 5-4-3 in the bottom of the 5th. The big boys will start things off. Cabrera, fielder, need to get the bats going.
kind of pitching around Miguel Cabrera, and when they do that, it's been Prince Fielder and also Peralta that have made him pay. Darren O'Day walked Miggy. This was in the 8th inning a couple of days ago. Then they brought in J.C. Romero, and then the result was a 2-run home run by Prince Fielder. And they walked Miggy again today. Base hit by Fielder. Big fly by Peralta. So you can't blame opposing teams for pitching around Miguel. Now it's just up to some other guys other than Fielder that are going to have to pick up Miguel and Fielder on occasion.
And it'll be Cabrera to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th, down by 2. Cabrera and then Fielder and then Peralta. The Tigers have not scored since putting up a 5 spot in the 1st inning. And Miguel looks at a ball down low, 1-0.
Yeah, that walk of Miguel back in the 1st inning for Chin resulted in 4 more runs against him.
One ball and 1 strike. Teagarden getting the Alex Avila treatment. It typically happens to Alex. Here's the 1-1 from Chen. In there, strike 2.
Good breaking ball there. He started that ball off the plate and had a big break to it. It ended up right down the middle.
Couple of walks today for Cabrera. The 1-2 pitch. Not this time. A swing and a miss, and Chen strikes him out.
Let's take a look at how Chen decided to attack Cabrera this time. He misses with the first one. Then he comes back with a good fastball, a backdoor breaking ball. Then he follows that up with a real good fastball inside that tied Miguel up.
Chen has retired 8 of the last 9 that he has faced. And Prince looks at a strike. Fielder double play ball this last time up. Singled and scored. And it was back in the 1st. Chen darts one outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. A couple of starts ago that Chen actually struck out 12 Oakland Athletics. That was back on the 29th of July in 5 2/3 innings. And that was a major league record for most strikeouts by a Taiwanese born pitcher. Chin-Ming Wong used to have the old record of 10. But he's fallen behind Fielder here, 3-1. And a foul. 3-2 on Prince, and again Teagarden has his mask knocked off.
Another one right off the chops. Teagarden has that look on his face about right now. Okay, enough is enough. It's not funny anymore.
He can relate. Alex getting the day off today. Here's the 3-2. He'll get back out of play. Count stays full on Prince. Johnny Peralta waiting his turn on deck. Fly ball, center field, hit well. Jones going back. He'll get to the edge of the track, and there are 2 gone.
The Tigers will host the Toronto Blue Jays this Tuesday at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Prince Fielder bobblehead. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. I've seen that bobblehead up close and personal. It's sweet. You want to be here.
Here's Johnny Peralta. There's a strike. 0-1 the count. Gonna have to dust off a spot in my office for the Prince bobblehead. You got a lot of bobbleheads?
Not very many.
Here's the 0-1. I've got some of players I don't even know who they are anymore.
I mean, there for the longest time when we would get them, I would simply give them to friends and family and whatnot. So I really haven't collected as many as I should have.
Not me. I'm selfish. I keep mine. 2 balls, 1 strike. Johnny Peralta.
I'm going to keep that Prince Fielder one though.
2-2. Well, Wei-Yin Chen threw 41 pitches in the first, gave up 5 runs, and remarkably, he's still in this game here in the 5th inning. As they get on the telephone. The 2-2. And he rolls it foul. He would need to get through 5 to have a chance to win this game. He has thrown 99 pitches, and you see 41 of them in the first inning. So since then, nothing but the mid-teens at the most. He has righted the ship. Here's the 2-2. Inside and high. 3-2 on Peralta.
That is one of the reasons why he has righted the ship. After the very first inning, he started at least making some Tigers hitters uncomfortable with the fastball that we just witnessed there to Peralta. High and tight fastballs.
Johnny skies one in the air, left center field. Jones going back on this one. And that's going to be that. 1-2-3 inning for Wei-Yin Chen. On to the 6th we go.
Tigers, the Red Wings, and other celebrities on Sunday, August 26th at the A-List Charities One Team, One Community Gala at Soundboard in Motor City Casino Hotel. Enjoy food, music, and an exclusive silent auction. For tickets, call 313-471-6340.
Here come the Orioles as we go to the 6th inning. 7 runs, 8 hits for Baltimore today. 5 runs on 7 hits for Detroit. Big crowd here again this afternoon on a sun-splashed day here in Detroit. And they watch their team race out to a 5-0 lead in the first inning, but it's been all Baltimore since. They'll have the top of the lineup here against Luke Peconin. Nick Markakis will lead it off. And the first pitch is low to Markakis. Hardy and then McLeod to follow. Top 3, and they've done some really good damage in this game. Markakis has been on twice. He's knocked in a run. Hardy has knocked in 2. McLeod has knocked in 2. Ball low and away, 2-0. Peconin back in the 5th inning walked a pair of batters, but he got the 5-4-3 double play from Teagarden to get him out of any further trouble. And the 2-0. 2-1 on Nick Markakis. He has scored twice. He has doubled. He has walked. And it looks like another hit. Line drive to left field. Leadoff man is on. Game break time. Let's go back to the studio. Here's Ryan Field. Boy, Ryan, that escalated quickly over there. Here's a ball low that gets away from Laird. That'll advance the runner. 1 ball to no strikes. Wild pitch advances the runner. Put another man in scoring position for the Orioles. Hardy trying to drive him in now. He doubled in 2 back in the second. Here's the 1-0. Vic Carapazza thought about it, then went up with the right hand. The O's today are 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position after falling behind 5-0. Pop up back a second, and Fonte racing back. And Hardy is out. We're at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit today, and a gorgeous afternoon for the 3rd and final game in this series. Mario Impemba, Rod Allen, Mark Isofano is our producer today. Brian Moss directing from here in the Motor City. And what appears to be yet another sellout crowd. Here's Nate McLouth. And it's ball 1 to McLouth, who tripled in 2. That was in the 4th inning. He is 2 for 3 today after really doing not a whole lot in the first 2 games in the series. He was 0 for 7 coming in. And he shoots that one foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Action in the bullpen. Luis Ayala for the Orioles. A bullpen that by and large has been really good here in the second half. They gave up a couple of runs in last night's game, but held on for the win. Ball outside, 2-1. Meanwhile, Darren Downs is warming up in the Detroit bullpen, the left-hander. Tiger bullpen pressed into duty today after Fister left in the 4th inning in this one. 2-2 on McLouth.
Did not see that coming, as well as Doug Fister has pitched since the second half began, to get bounced after just 3+ innings.
I got to be honest, with Fister on the mound and a 5-run first, it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk today.
Laugher.
But they came right back with 4 in the second. Ball outside, 3-2.
That's why that stat with Justin Verlander that we talk about every time that he pitches, games that he has thrown at least 100 pitches, every single start, like 73 in a row or something like that, isn't it?
I think it's more than that. Yeah, but it's in the 70s.
Ridiculous.
Roll to first base. Prince has it. That'll advance the runner, but there are 2 gone.
Because as good as Doug had been pitching the entire second half of the year, who would have thought that he would not get there again today?
Well, look at Jared Weaver 2 nights ago. I mean, here's a guy that's in the thick of the Cy Young talk. He gave up 9 runs.
Yep.
I mean, you just don't. Verlander will have some starts where he gives up a few, but you never see anybody playing a 9 spot on him.
Justin the other day did not have his A game, so to speak, but he ended up pitching 6 innings and only gave up 3 runs. Tigers won that game.
Here's Adam Jones. Orioles trying to get another run in. It was Jones that singled one in the 4th to give them a 2-run lead.
Gerald didn't like that last location of that last pitch by Pecone. And as soon as Adam Jones fouled it off, Laird jumped out of his crouch to go out and have a conversation with Luke. Did he miss his location? Let's take a look. He wanted it in. That ball was right over the heart of the plate.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Jones. Good block there by Laird. Saving a run. White Sox playing KC. They came in with a game-and-a-half lead over Detroit, and they are scoreless in the fourth inning in that one. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball foul. We understand that Jeremy Guthrie has a no-hitter through 4 for the Kansas City Royals in that game.
He's a different guy since coming back to the American League. He was not very good in Colorado, but he has been good in Kansas City.
That's outside. 2-2.
I've always liked Guthrie's stuff. And for me, he's always been one of those guys that just kind of underachieved for the amount of stuff that he has. Mid-90s fastball, good breaking ball, curve, change. Very smart man.
Swing and a miss. Jones is out of there, and that is that. So they get a guy to third, but strand him there. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Orioles lead at 7-5 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here at the ballpark today. And there's a new pitcher on now for Baltimore. That would be Luis Ayala.
He comes in with a .500 record, having pitched in 49 games already this year for the Baltimore Orioles. 35 strikeouts, 12 walks in over 57 innings. Respectable ERA at 2.97. You can join us again on Tuesday when the Tigers welcome in the Toronto Blue Jays. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers Baseball, Tuesday at 6:30, right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Max Scherzer Getting ready to make the start in that one. The Jays in for 3. Scherzer and Romero on Tuesday night. Tigers also have Anibal Sanchez and then Justin Verlander in that series. The numbers on Mr. Scherzer: 178 punch-outs this year in 140 2/3 innings. So Ayala goes to work now. Delman Young leads it off. Tigers trying to get the bats going here. They have not done anything since the 5-run first. Young will lead it off. Dirks will be pinch hitting for Baker, and then Laird. That's in for a strike. 34-year-old Luis Ayala, a native of Los Mochis in Mexico. Been well traveled in the major league scene. Here's the 1-1. Popped up foul, back out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Ayala last year pitched with the Yankees. He's been with Florida, Minnesota, Mets, Washington, Montreal. And the 1-2. 2-2 on Delman Young.
Ayala can go a couple of different ways now after that fastball there to Young. He can simply throw another 2-seamer inside or go back outside with his signature pitch, which is that slow breaking ball going back in.
Bouncing ball to short, right at J.J. Hardy. That has been automatic in this series. 1 out. Andy Dirks will pinch hit now for Jeff Baker. And here's our Mazda scouting report on Mr. Dirks against right-handed pitching. He's batting a salty .354. Only .229 against lefties. So we'll see if he can get something started. Baker done after a strikeout and an RBI double. Ayala hits the outside corner, 0-1. Dirks in the series is 1 for 7. Another strike, 0-2. 333 for Andy since coming off the disabled list. He's played in 14 games in that stretch and has 7 RBIs. With an Achilles problem that took him 2 months to get over. Ayala stays away, 1-2. So Chen found a way to stick around for 5 innings. He would be eligible to win if his team can hold on, but a lot of baseball to be played. Here's the 1-2 off the end of the bat. Gerald Laird will be next. Since getting 5 in the first, the Tigers had a single and a walk in the second. A double in the fourth. And that's been it. Here's the 1-2. Looked like he didn't go, and he did hold up, says Jeff Kellogg. Chen left the game, retiring 10 of the final 11 he faced. Here's the 2-2. 3-2 on Dirks. And a drive to right, base hit. Pinch hit single for Dirks.
Real nice at bat by Andy. Ayala was able to get ahead of Dirks. No balls and 2 strikes. And Dirks just simply got patient and continued to watch the baseball into the glove of the catcher until he got himself in that 3-2 count. And Ayala basically had to give him something over the heart of the plate. really nice quality at bat.
It's Gerald Laird. Fly ball and a pop up for Gerald today. And that's in for a strike.
And G Money has gotten the majority of his reps lately against left-handed pitching. Facing a right-hander here, and his numbers are better this year against right-handers than they are against left-handed pitching. Here's also a situation where Jim probably, if he had 3 catchers on his roster, he would probably pinch hit for Gerald. No, he wouldn't.
It's a foul ball.
But with 3 catchers on your roster, you can bring in another left-hander to go up and pinch hit and not worry about burning that only catcher that you have.
That'll change on September the 1st when the Tigers will have their call-ups, and they are certainly going to bring up at least another catcher. Oh, 2 on Gerald. Very nearly snuck one in down the third base line. And he loops one in the air to left, and Clout comes in to make the catch. 2 gone. Gerald 0 for 3 today. It's to bring up Quentin Berry. Q this afternoon, a double and a strikeout. His 2-base hit came with 1 out of the 4th, but the Tigers unable to get him in. Batting .276. Orioles signed up Ayala to a 1-year free agent deal this past February. He's been in the major league since 2003. Ball 1 to Quentin. One ball, 1 strike. Ground ball back up the middle. Hardy, though, makes the play, and the funny hop tags the bag for the force, ending the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Let's go to the 7th.
Hey fans, you know the drill by now. As soon as this game is over, our coverage will continue. You will always hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and some of the players. Plus, we'll break the game down, show you all the highlights immediately after the game right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Hey, Ron Mario, please wish me a happy 8th birthday.
Happy birthday.
What are those pictures? Those pictures of us? Oh, we've got birthday hats on.
How about her? And it's her birthday.
Gotta love that.
I like presents, too.
Happy 8th birthday. Andy Dirks, by the way, stays in the game, and he will play right field for Baker. Got a new pitcher as well. That would be Brian Villarreal.
Villarreal pitched in last night's game, and that was his first action since the club was on the road trip in Texas. But he looked good. Fastball was firm at 97. Didn't throw many breaking balls in last night's game. 50 strikeouts this year for Villarreal in just over 38 innings pitched.
Chris Davis, the first man to face him, and he looks at ball 1 outside. So Pekonen goes 2 1/3 in this game. And now Villarreal here in the 7th. Davis, Reynolds, Machado for the Orioles, who lead 7-5 after falling behind 5-zip in this game. Here's the 1-0 in there. Strike 1-1. Davis had a home run. It was a solo shot back in the 2nd. He got him on the board, and it started their comeback. He also hit the 3-run shot last night off Rick Porcello that gave the Orioles a 3-0 lead. They would go on to win it 3-2.
And Villarreal threw that last fastball at 97 right by Davis. Can probably do it again if he chose to do so. And that's exactly what they're going to try to do.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Villarreal coming into this ball game averaging 11.74 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Tigers as a staff are averaging over 8 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Popped in the air, shallow left. Quentin Berry toward the line. 1 out.
The first baseman, Mark Reynolds.
That'll bring up Mark Reynolds. There's activity in the Baltimore bullpen right now. Darren O'Day is warming up. In their strike 1 on Reynolds. One of the other Tiger big strikeout artists from a year ago, Al Albuquerque, was in the clubhouse yesterday being re-examined by Tigers doctors. He's on the comeback trail, was in Toledo and had some soreness in the elbow, so they were looking at that. There's a strike call. It's 0-2. Reynolds been on base 3 times today. Got a couple of singles and a walk. Big swing, and he fouled it straight back. Also kind of forgot about Daniel Schlereth, who's been rehabbing a shoulder problem. He's in Lakeland right now. And Albuquerque, we told you about.
Well, if both guys get themselves healthy and are pitching effectively, and they find themselves back on the major league roster, they both would be eligible for the postseason if the Tigers are fortunate enough to get there.
Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Machado will be next. Villarreal got Davis to fly out. Swing and a miss, and Villarreal records another strikeout. 2 gone here in the 7th.
First breaking ball he has thrown in this inning, and this is a really good look in Fox mode. That ball looked like it was a fastball all the way until Reynolds started his swing, and all of a sudden the ball just disappeared on him. Xfinity, sponsored by Comcast, tells us that Villarreal has thrown at least 1 pitch at 98 miles an hour.
That's 51 strikeouts in a little over 38 innings, 39 now to be exact, for Villarreal.
And pretty much gets it done with just 2 pitches. Explosive fastball and a breaking ball that just continues to improve.
Here's the 0-1. Down the right field line, heading back toward the seats. Amongst the crowd, 40,511 your attendance here this afternoon. They had better than 42,000 last night, better than 41,000 in the first game of the series.
They will probably get to 3 million this year as far as the attendance is concerned.
The 0-2. Remember when getting to 1 million was an accomplishment?
I sure do.
And honestly, it really wasn't all that long ago. But you got teams getting to the 3 million mark. Tigers building a brand new facility here in Detroit. We've seen new facilities pop up all over the league.
Baseball attendance overall is very good in Major League Baseball.
Breaking ball missing low, 1-2.
And they tell us that they have more eyeballs watching Fox Sports Detroit than ever before. I believe we're up about 55% from a year ago.
And the 1-2. Lifted in the air, left center field. Here comes Jackson. And Austin will put it away. And Villarreal has a 1-2-3 frame. Stretch time at the ballpark. The 7th inning. Here's how we got to this point. A lot of scoring early in this game. The Tigers opened it up against Wei Yin Chen in the first. A solo shot by Omar Infante made it 1-0. They would continue to pour it on as Johnny Peralta went the other way. 3-run shot. By the end of the inning, it was 5-0 Detroit.
Tigers are flexing their muscles. A couple of guys other than Miggy and also Prince. And Doug Fister pretty much was cruising early. His breaking ball was outstanding, but he hung a breaking ball there to J.J. Hardy and then 0-2 to McLeod. And McLeod was able to triple and drove into. And then Doug Fister didn't stay around much longer after that.
Here's our Comerica game summary. Graphically, the Tigers scored 5 runs in that first inning. Fister lasted just 3 2/3, which ties a season low. And runners in scoring position today. How about the Orioles? 4 for 9. The Tigers, meanwhile, just 1 for 6. Darren O'Day is the new pitcher now for the Orioles.
50th game now that O'Day has been in. He has won 6 games. He has lost just 1, and he is part of a very impressive bullpen that the Baltimore Orioles will run at you on any given night.
Ayala through the 6th inning, and now O'Day coming on here in the 7th. So the Orioles will be leaning on a bullpen that has been one of their strengths. And it's still a 2-run spread. The Tigers will have the top of the lineup coming up here in the 7th inning. Buck Showalter has his team in the thick of the race in the American League right now, maybe concentrating more on the wild card than in the championship in the East, because New York came in with a 6-game lead over the Orioles. But here comes Austin Jackson now to try and get it rolling here for Detroit. AJ today 1 for 3. Darren O'Day's first pitch is in for a strike. He is 29 years of age. Meanwhile, in KC, Guthrie has a no-hitter now. Through 6 innings, he has given up a walk. He is no-hitting Chicago through 6. We'll keep our eyes on that one. Here's a little floater into right center, base hit. Jackson is aboard. Leadoff man on. AJ with his 2nd hit today. Bring up Infante. Each team now with 9 hits. Infante has one of those, a solo shot in the first.
If you're Omar Infante in this situation against a guy like O'Day that throws from the side and has good sink, you have to make sure you get something up you can drive. You want to stay off the ground.
Orioles have been able to get some really big double plays turned in this series. They had 3 of them last night. They've turned 1 here today. Here's the 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1 on Infante. There's a ground ball to short. Hardy on the backhand, flips to second, and safe there. Quintanilla couldn't haul it in. And the Tigers are alive and well here in the 7th.
That ball should have been caught by their second baseman, Quintanilla, but J.J. Hardy did not give him a good feed. And that is so rare for J.J. Hardy. He is probably the most underrated shortstop in the American League. Ball should have been caught. Should have been 1 out. They weren't going to turn 2 there, but not a good feed by J.J. Hardy. And we saw the Baltimore Orioles capitalize earlier in this game on a ball that should have been turned 2 by Detroit. They did not do so. The Tigers need to capitalize on that miscue.
Darren O'Day now has to face the middle of the Tigers lineup. Cabrera strolling in. One swing could put the Tigers back ahead. A couple of walks for Cabrera in this game. Strike one. Be an error on the second baseman Quintanilla, fielder's choice, allowing Infante to reach.
It's the right call. The ball should have been caught. But J.J. Hardy will tell you that it's probably his fault, he feels.
Here's the 0-1. Ooh, 0-2 on Cabrera. Leadoff single by Jackson. Infante reaching on a fielder's choice. Here's the 0-2. Got him. Strike three. Cabrera caught looking.
Three straight breaking balls to Miguel. And the last one catches the outside corner.
A whale of a pitch. So one hurdle is cleared for O'Day. Here comes another hurdle. Prince Fielder. He hit into a 4-6-3 double play back in the second. And he swings in a breaking ball, strike one. Seven runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Orioles. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Detroit. And Prince had a rip. Now it's 0-2. An oddity today. Cabrera rather has 2 walks and a couple of strikeouts, has not put a ball in play here this afternoon. Fielder trying to put one in play here. Down by 2 runs. Ground ball, second base side. Quintanilla fires to second one, relayed at first. There's a double play. How about that? 4-6-3, the second one that Fielder has hit into. Tigers baseball today presented by BAL Tire. For the Tigers here as we go to the 8th inning, and O'Day had himself a big inning, getting 2 big hitters out.
Well, he should have had a double play ball earlier, but he did not get that on the ball that Hardy did not give Quintanilla a good feed on, but he comes back to get Cabrera. on 3 pitches, the last of which was a well-located breaking ball. And then he comes back and he gets ahead of Prince Fielder in a rapid fashion, and then he hits the ball right on the button to the second baseman Quintanilla, and a 4-6-3 double play gets O'Day and the Orioles out of any further damage. That's our bell tire, pitch by pitch.
So that Orioles bullpen again coming through in a rough spot. We'll see now if the Tigers bullpen can continue to do some work here as Darren Downs comes in for Detroit.
He has done nice work since coming up from the minor leagues. It's been in just 11 games, but Jim Leyland has picked his spots to use Darren Downs, and Downs has been very effective.
Darren, the young man born in Southfield, Michigan. Robert Andino is hitting. He is batting for Quintanilla with the lefty coming on.
Well, Buchanan and Villarreal, and let's hope Downs does the same exact thing. What they have been able to do, they've been able to keep the score right where it's at since the 4th inning. Tigers bats just have not awakened yet to reclaim the lead.
Nothing but zeros since that 5-run first. Tigers were 5 for 8 in that first inning. Since then, 4 for 21. Fouled straight back. 2-1 on Andino. Teagarden to follow, and then Nick Markakis. Another foul back out of play. 2-2 on Andino. He played in the ball game last night, kept the start at second base, and was 1 for 3. Fisker started, gave way to Buchanan in the 4th. Then Villarreal came on in the 7th, and now Downs here in the 8th. Tigers signed Downs as a minor league free agent last November. And a ground ball to third. Cabrera, nice play to his feet. Throws high. Tag is made.
Nice job by Prince Fielder coming off the bag to help Miguel Cabrera out. And real nice play by Miguel. He goes down to one knee, gets up quickly, turns the opposite way. He throws off the left foot, but he throws high. But Prince Fielder able to come off the bag, make the catch, and apply the tag.
Taylor Teagarden with 1 out. Walk, strikeout, double play, and a run scored for Teagarden. Downs getting his first shot to pitch at the major league level this year. He broke in back in 2003 as a member of the Cubs organization. Was playing in rookie ball that year and has bounced around since. There's a drive to right field, sinking and caught. Dirks stuttered for a moment and then picked it up off his shoe tops. 2 outs.
We've seen Dirks make a play just like this on Friday. It's a ball that he initially took 1 step back on, but able to recover and come in and make a nice grab.
Here's Markakis on base 3 more times today. Single walk double, 2 runs scored. One ball, 1 strike. So Markakis now 6 for 11 in this 3-game series. And he sends a soft liner to third, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Darren Downs. So we go to the bottom of the eighth.
Well, for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile, get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 318-26 or visit Tigers.com for details.
Well, the Tigers got to get the bats going. They're running out of time. They are down by 2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. New second baseman is Robert Andino. He will stay in the game to play that position. And O'Day is back out there. He will face Johnny Peralta to lead it off. And Johnny backs away from a pitch inside. 7-9-1 on the board for the Orioles. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Detroit. Peralta had the big blow early, a 3-run shot in the first inning. Here's the 1-0. Sails outside. Peralta, then Young, then Dirks. Tiger fans really nothing to cheer about since the first inning. Pedro Strop warming up in their bullpen in case he is needed. Grounded foul.
Strop pitched in last night's game. Ended up giving up a couple of runs, the first runs that Strop had given up since July 3rd. A total of 16 pitches, and usually he's the guy that starts the 8th inning when the Baltimore Orioles have a lead, but not today.
Strike call 2-2 on Peralta. Delman Young waiting on deck. He fought that one off in on his hands. Well, the bullpen has been their strength, and here are the results. And again, the 2-2. Sails outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Grounded foul right by Gene Lamont. And a souvenir. It's a pretty good barehanded pick there.
Got a smooch too.
Well, upon further review, wasn't clean, but he got the job done. This one will stay fair. Machado scoops it up, and his throw is on target. One gone here in the 8th. Well, I know Machado is a natural shortstop, and they're playing him at third base at the big league level, but this kid's pretty much made every play down there.
He's got a great arm. Long, wiry body. Got some bat speed. Looks like he's going to be a good player for a long, long time.
Here's Delman Young. Breaks low. 1 ball, no strikes on Delman. Singled, scored a run back in the first. 1-for-3 here this afternoon.
And the only reason why Machado not playing shortstop is the fact that J.J. Hardy has been so good at that position the last 2 years. Last year, J.J. Hardy had the highest fielding percentage of any shortstop in the American League, and this year hasn't missed a beat. Very consistent.
Foul back 1-2 on Delman.
You have some other shortstops that are really flashy. Elvis Andrews comes to mind. Asdrubal Cabrera comes to mind. Alexi Ramirez. All three of those guys have great range, make acrobatic plays, but I'll take the guy that catches everything and has a very accurate arm over the first base.
And Delman is hit by the pitch, and O'Day didn't want to do that. He got ahead in the count, and he ends up putting him on base.
The two-seamer just continued to chase Delman inside.
It's going to be it for O'Day. They're going to want Strop here as Buck Showalter takes the baseball. And we will take a break. Pitching change here in Detroit. Stability since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com to see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. Like us on Facebook and enter the contest for a chance to win great prizes. Well, the Tigers have a little bit of life here as we play in the 8th inning. 1 on and 1 out. Pedro Strop coming out of the bullpen for Baltimore. Andy Dirks looks at ball 1.
I told you the Tigers touched him up for a couple of runs in last night's game, but he has not given up many runs this year. The ERA is 1.51. 21 holds, pitching in his 53rd game.
It's fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alex Avila, meanwhile, has grabbed a bat. He has moved to the on-deck circle. Laird was due next. Strop last year was claimed off the waiver wire in September. Went 2-0 down the stretch with a 0.73 ERA.
What a great claim that was.
That's in the air. Shallow right field. Markakis. And Dirks retired. Sometimes you just can't figure out how certain moves work.
I mean, this guy went from being a waiver claim to going 2-0 down the stretch, as you mentioned, to being, at least by the numbers, one of the best setup men in the American League this year.
And Strop has 1 more out to get here in the 8th. Alex Avila is a double in, well, I take it back. Alex Avila batting for Laird, who is 0 for 1 against Strop in his career, and he represents the tying run. And he looks at ball 1, missing outside.
Strop has the fastball that gets all the way up to 98 miles an hour, and he got Andy Dirks to pop up on a breaking ball at 83. And that first pitch to Avila was an off-speed pitch as well.
Alex 0 for 4 in last night's game. 2 balls, no strikes. Quentin Berry waiting on deck. Laird was 0 for 3 before departing. Avila trying to get something done here with 2 outs. And the 2-0. 2-1. White Sox trailing 2-0. That game is in the 7th. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Jeremy Guthrie had a no-hitter going in that game, but Paul Konerko has picked up an infield single to end that no-hit bid.
Of all the players to get an infield single, it's Paul Konerko.
That just defies logic. And the 3-1. Big swing there by Avila. 3-2.
Strop has fallen behind Avila on a couple of different occasions. 2-0 and now 3-1, and he's come right back with forcing fastballs in the upper 90s, and Avila has not been able to catch up with either of those fastballs.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Avila goes down on strikes, and that is that for Detroit. To the 9th we go. will stay in the game, and all right, Ryan, thank you very much. Here, Alex Avila will stay in the game, and he will do the catching now for Detroit, and he will catch a new pitcher for the Tigers. Out of the bullpen is Joaquin Benoit.
By the sound of Ryan Field's voice there when he was describing that base hit by Konerko to break up the no-hitter of Jeremy Guthrie, kind of sounded like it could have gone either way.
Well, we'll probably get a look at it tonight. And the no-hitter has gone bye-bye. Meanwhile, Benoit will face J.J. Hardy. It'll be Hardy, McLeod, and Jones. These are the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Orioles. Villarreal came out in the 7th. Downs in the 8th. Benoit here in the 9th. 7-5, O's lead. First pitch is hit in the air. Shallow left field. Here's Quentin Berry. Hardy is gone. That'll bring up McLeod.
Take a peek at our Nissan drive of the game. It was back when Doug Fister was in the ball game, and I believe he had gotten ahead of McLeod. No balls, 2 strikes, and he left the breaking ball up, and McLeod drove in a couple in that inning.
Two-run triple, a single, a couple of ground balls, 2 out of 4. In for strike 1. Both bullpens have been getting it done today. All of the scoring coming early in this contest. Tigers got 5 in the first and nothing since. 4 in the second, 3 in the fourth for the Orioles to go ahead. In there.
Tigers have 3 big outs left in this game, but the Baltimore Orioles have rolled into down Detroit and done something that many teams haven't done lately, and that's win a series here. The Tigers have been lights out in this ballpark lately.
They will need to get 1 base runner on base in the 9th to get Cabrera up. 9-1-2 due up. Fouled away.
I don't know. You think this Baltimore team is in it for real? I mean, 6 weeks to go.
Well, I don't know.
You don't know yet?
I still don't know.
I mean, 23-6 in 1-run games, 12-2 in extra inning games. They got a lot of mojo going.
That they do. And that does count for something. They're in the middle of that wild card race. Tampa, Baltimore atop the standings right now in the wild card. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. McLeod is out of there. Benoit has his first strikeout.
And Benoit, the last 3 times he has gone out there, he has looked much better than when he was going through his issues, when he was giving up the home runs. And there's a changeup. That's how Joaquin holds his pitch. And you can't locate it any better than that.
Now Adam Jones. Single to drive in a run back in the 4th. One for 7 in his career against Benoit with a couple of strikeouts. Benoit had a 1-2-3-8 in the first game in this series. And that's in for a strike. 1-1. Jones hits a ground ball to third. Backhanding there, Cabrera. His throw across the diamond in time. Benoit with a 1-2-3-9 coming up. Barry, Jackson, and Fonte in the bottom of the ninth. Last call now for the Tigers as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Orioles have brought their closer in now. It's Jim Johnson.
He got his 36th save in last night's game. It was a run lead and a game for the Baltimore Orioles. Jim Johnson, an all-star this year, has been one of your more surprising closers in all of baseball, I guess. With the Tampa Bay Rays closer, that would be Fernando Rodney.
I would say Johnson's a bigger surprise, though. Rodney has closed some games with some success in the past. Johnson had a few last year, but man, he's had a great year.
Very impressive.
So let's see if Quentin Berry can get on. It'll be Berry, Jackson, and Fonte. Tigers are trailing by 2, 7-5.
I don't know if Quentin will be thinking about a possible bunt to get on first base. It's something that's part of his game, obviously, but we have not seen Q bunt for a base hit in quite some time. He's got some room on the right side of the infield should he choose to go in that direction.
And he looks the first pitch in for a strike.
And basically, by the way, the Reynolds is playing him at first base. The scouting report on Quentin Berry is that he will not bunt down in this direction. He'll go the other way, but he won't bunt down there.
Swing and a miss, and now the count is 0-2.
Johnson is not a strikeout artist. Most closers in the major leagues, they have that one pitch. And that's a legitimate swing and miss pitch for them, but he pitches to a lot of contact and relies on his infielders to make plays behind him.
Johnson had 9 saves last year. His previous high in the big leagues was 10 back in 2009. He has far surpassed that. Here's the 1-2. Just off the plate. 2-2 on Berry.
I remember having a conversation with Buck Showalter, and this was a couple of years ago. This is when he took over the team midway through the season, that he thought that Johnson would be his best option for closer, and this was in 2011.
Swing and a miss. Well, that has come to fruition because he has been really good this year. 38 for Rodney, 36 for Johnson. Chris Perez with 32. Austin Jackson. Ball 1. And that's in there for a strike. 1-1. Johnson, 29 years old. He was born in New York State, lives in Florida now. And he paints the outside corner. 1-2. Johnson City, New York is the hometown of Jim Johnson. That'd be like you being born in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Just fouled off and he stays alive. 7-9-1 for the Orioles. 5-9-0 for Detroit. Need a base runner here. And the 1-2 in the air to right field. Markakis running back there, and there are 2 gone. So it's going to be up to Infante to try and get Cabrera up there. Infante's going to need to reach here. KC leading Chicago 2-0. And Omar takes ball 1. It's amazing. What a strange, odd game today. The Tigers put up 5 in the first inning. Looked like they were going to chase Chen early in this game. Wei-Yin Chen then was able to stick around long enough to get 5 innings of work in, and he has a chance to win this game. Ooh, look out. Omar showing bunt, and then he had to run out of the way. 2-1.
Omar just trying to get on base any way that he can. And he thought that Machado down at third base was giving him too much room, so he was going to try to bunt for a hit.
Now it's 3-1.
All of a sudden, as a pitcher, when you start to look over to your right and see him in that on-deck circle, you just tighten up a little bit.
And the guy sitting behind him, too, on the top step.
You just kind of tighten up.
And a strike called. Infante saying, wait a minute. That should have been a walk. What does Mr. Foxtrack say? Borderline. 3-2. And the full count pitch. Bouncing ball left side. Machado has the hop, and the Orioles win 2 of 3 from the Tigers. Well, Baltimore comes into town here, makes a bit of a statement that they will stick around in this race. Final score is 7-5. Back with a whole lot more.